Good morning. This is a third video on Abend solution series, and in this video we are going to see JCL space Abends. There are three space Abends: SB37, SD37, SE37. In that, most common one is SB37. So probably we can directly get into hands-on and learn these three Abends and how to solve them. Okay. So I'm first creating a data set SB37. User ID mod SB37. That I am allocating, primary quantity is 1 track, secondary quantity is 10 track, and LREGL of 20,000. Okay, allocated. What I am doing is, I'll do SB37. I try to add data to this data set. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got a SB37. Okay. So I go and see how much space is used. 16 extents is used, and total tracks is 151. We know the theory. The theory says that 1 primary extent and 15 secondary extents will be allocated. So in our case, it is 1 track is primary spaces we have given 1 track, and secondary space we have given as a 10 track. So 1 plus 15 into 10, that is 150. That is what the 151 tracks are allocated, which is in 16 extents. When we have more data above the 151 tracks, the data set is failed with the SB37. So SB37 is basically there is no space in the volume, or the space we have given for the data set is not sufficient to do the successful write of the data. Okay, so that is SB37. So solution, just increase the space. Okay, if you increase the space, your SB37 problem will be solved. And sometimes you increase n number of times, and again it is failing, means go for a multi-volume. Multi-volume means you add a parameter called volume equal to 99, and whatever the 16 extents I said, it is specific to one particular volume. Means in this volume it is 16 extents. If one more volume is added, there are another 16 extents are possible. So when I give a multi-volume data set, if I give a 99 volume into 16 extents is possible, which is a huge. So the data set will surely get allocated when you are making multi-volume. But if it is a production data set, it's fine, and if it is your own data set, make sure that you are not taking a huge space. Then the storage admin team, when they run the space usage reports, your ID may appear in the top, and you may get a notification. So in your case, if you are taking huge space, better put it in a tape. Okay, this is about SB37 and when it occurs and how to solve it. Now next, let's start with SD37, which is relatively much simple. It's mostly a coding issue. It's a coding issue. So SD37, what I'm doing is, I'll not give a secondary quantity at all. So when I do like this, the allocation will happen only for primary. Once the primary is filled, you will get Abend. Okay, so what I'm doing is SD37, I'll try to allocate this data. I allocated, and I'm trying to write this data set. Okay, I got SD37 now. So B37, D37, E37 means there is no space on the disk back, or there is no space in the data set to store the data. Okay. So this is about D37. The solution is, you missed to give a secondary allocation. Give the secondary allocation, it will go fine. So the allocation you would have given in JCL like space track, 1 or track, 1, release. So in a volume, only 1 track is allocated. After that, it will fail. So give a secondary allocation, then this will go success. Third Abend is E37. E37 usually come for existing data set. It would have been already in a volume, and you are trying to extend the data set further. it will go out of space and it will fail. So we would have seen this in real time when you are writing the cobalt programs in a PDS member. It will go for, we would have faced A37. In those cases, you would have compressed the data set and proceeded. So I have a data set SE37 already. This has 5 members. Sorry. I try to increase the content. Got SE37. So SE37 usually come for already existing data set. In that, the occupation is already full. You are asking more space, it will fail. So the solution is either compress and try. Even after that, you are facing problem. Reallocate a new data set in a different volume with a larger space and copy all the members from this data set to the data set, and then you do scrap of this original data set and rename that data set to this data set name. That is a process we follow in case of E37. I think with this we are good enough in understanding when B37 occur, when D37 occur, when E37 occur, and the solutions. Maybe you want to see in a JCL, we can try it out only one JCL example. Where I have okay, this is SB data and SB data.copy. I am trying to copy this data set. It's not give this one. So I am giving 1,10. I can give 1,5 here. SB37.copy. So I got a SB37. So when SB37 comes, you need to look into just message log. Here you have to look for B37. So this is a B37. So in a B37, which DD got a problem, that sort out, and which data set, you press F11, you come to know that this is a data set. So this data set allocation is failed. Okay. So fine, then same way you can try it out, D37, E37 also if you want. Anyway, it is simple. I don't want to do all those things. D37 alone. Okay, again B37 you got in this case, because what sort sometimes even though we didn't give a secondary allocation, it will do the secondary allocation and it result only B37 instead of D37. Probably for that you need to do if at all your program doing that, it will give SD37 only. I will do is, I think I have one program. Yeah, this is a program which is copying from one file to other file. Okay, so I can try it out to this one. Not needed. What is the program? SWA06 SB37 SD37.copy. What is this? Is EMP file if I remember. I think this is EMP file 2 if I remember. Then no sysyn and all needed, and I need to allocate the load lib. Lib share dsn equal to z82660.load. I'm good. Let's see. Okay, I got SD37. So when you don't give a secondary space, you will get a SD37 number.